All right, since it's 9:02 and we'll just get started. Thank you all so much for joining. My name is Dia Ghosh with Ada Jobs Foundation, and we're really excited to see you all to help us kickstart the first of the many series of the Community Entrepreneurship Hour. Before I begin, I'd like to remind you that this call is being recorded. We're also streaming live on Facebook. Just a quick reminder about that. And while I go over a quick introduction for today's agenda, if you all would like to introduce yourselves on the chat feature, maybe just your name, the organization or business you're with, and let's see, something fun, something you're excited about today. How about that? I'll get it kick-started, and if you all want to introduce yourselves in the chat. So we're really excited about this event because this is something we work on based on feedback that we receive from local entrepreneurs and a gap in the community. So the Community Entrepreneurship Hour is a free monthly event that we'll be meeting every second Wednesday of the month. And during this event, we will have two local entrepreneurs be featured, talk about their business, present for about 10 minutes, and then open it up to Q&A, really to the audience, to you guys, to the entrepreneurship community of Ada, and to not just ask questions and learn, but as well as provide feedback. Provide feedback to the entrepreneurs, and we want to be mindful of providing constructive feedback, that is, so that they can improve their business and their pitch. Our goal with this program is to create a culture of openness where local entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs feel free to share their ideas and get some feedback. Jim, did you want to add something to a quick welcome note?
Sure. Thank you everyone for logging on. We're, as Dia said,
Oops, seems like Jim may have frozen. But we can get back to that whenever he's back. But let me run over how today's going to work. We have two awesome entrepreneurs who are going to be pitching their business. And like I mentioned before, they will be presenting for about 10 minutes. And let me try to share my screen. Okay. All right. So just a quick reminder to stay muted while the others are presenting, just to be mindful of their presentations. If you have questions while the presentations are going on, please type it in the chat box. I will try to keep up with that. As I mentioned before, your feedback is encouraged. Please you're encouraged to do that. And finally, we are trying to recreate the networking atmosphere that we see in live events when we go and we get to chit chat with speakers and other presenters afterwards. So if you want to do that, please stick around and we will keep this room open. All right. Stop sharing my screen and introduce our first speaker for the day. That is Allison. Allison is a founder of Poe Prepping LLC and also a health influencer. She's also the former winner of the Big Pitch Ada 19 in the revenue generating category. Poe Prepping is a healthy food truck that provides a very specially curated menu to provide healthy food options at an affordable price. So with that, Allison, it's all yours.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having us on this meeting today. We appreciate it. It's something I never thought I would be doing from my living room, but it's okay. We're learning to adjust in all of this. So I put together a little presentation here. Let's see if I can get it to work. Perfect. Okay, so we are Poe Prepping LLC, transformational health. So it's not just about the food, it's about more than that, about transforming your whole entire life to have a healthy lifestyle, and incorporating healthy food choices into that is where we come in. And so it's been a very interesting beginning for sure. I was a full-time registered nurse, and I actually quit my nursing job to become a full-time health coach because I lost 60 pounds in just a few months. And so I was wanting to do what I could to help others to meet their health goals. And being a night shift nurse, there was not very much opportunity for healthy food. So I actually started doing some meal prepping for the girls that I worked with at the hospital. And it was about 20 people that I was meal prepping for. And at one point it got up to where I was meal prepping about 200 meals a week. And so obviously there was a need for that. People are looking for convenience and looking for good options. And so I started talking to my husband and my family, and we decided to open a meal prepping company. And it eventually transitioned into a food truck. Mostly because of the Big Pitch ADA competition. We didn't even know it was a thing. And then I found a flyer for it in a coffee shop one morning. I sent in our ideas and I applied, and a few weeks later we were on the stage presenting. So it was all very, very last minute, but it was a great opportunity to get up there and just share our ideas and our business model with the judges and the people of ADA, and to know that they were interested and really looking forward to what our ideas were was nice. And it was good to see that this was going to be a good thing. And the funds for the competition that were presented to us went towards helping getting us up and going, and pitching in for like some of the fees of license and tags and all of that stuff. So it's much appreciated, and it's been put to good use and helped us out a lot. So now we are a mobile meal prepping company and food truck. So it's been really fun to be able to take our kitchen with us and meet new people and serve different people in different towns with our meal prepping. And then we open the food truck for the day after we get the meal prepping done. So getting started, we actually opened the food truck on our 5th wedding anniversary, November 14th of 2019. It was a crazy, crazy day. We did not expect to be nearly as busy as we were. And because it went so well, we actually ended up opening 2 days in a row, which was not the original plan. And now we're, trying to open in at least 2 different towns a week, and opening at least 3 to 4 days a week for lunch. It's been something that's given us a lot of time freedom and a lot of flexibility as to where we want to go, depending on who's looking for us and who is ready to take that next step and be prepared for the week, especially with all of this COVID-19 stuff going on. There's been a lot of restrictions of where people can go for lunch and what can be brought in and not brought in. And so it's just really given people the opportunity to have a good, healthy option for lunch, that they don't have to leave work once they get there. Because I know a lot of people are having to do extra things once they get to work to be able to function throughout the day. So our business basically is on social media. We have a website, but it's not used a whole lot, and it's something that we're working on weekly to get better at and more understanding. But basically it's word of mouth. So if somebody comes to our food truck and they enjoy it, the best thing that they can do is give us a shout out. It's all about, hey, look what they're eating. Where did they get that? And so it's been mostly social media that's kept us going. And festivals, a lot of those have been canceled recently just because of the pandemic, but there's we're starting to do some events and get out there more, and that's just given us an opportunity to spread the word even more, and reach out to people that we may not just meet every day setting up in the same place, or if we were a brick and mortar. It's given us the chance to even meet people from different states that have come in, you know, for certain festivals and events. Basically, we just are trying to be available, but also trying to have some consistency at the same time. There's a fine balance between all of that. And then, you know, making it convenient for people, like I said earlier, knowing that they have the opportunity to have those healthy meals and to not have to run all over the place to get lunch every day, that they can just keep in their freezer and warm up whenever they're ready for them, has definitely been a big thing for us. So there's just a few pictures of our food, and that's my mom actually eating one of our famous bowls. She loves them, and she's probably going to kill me if she finds out that I put this picture on there, but it's okay. So we are always looking for how we can help more people, whether that is part of our health coaching side of our business, or if it is for the prepped meals. And so we like people who like food, and we also want people to have a good time. So there's a lot of times, you know, you can go to places and you don't have a lot of healthy options, or you feel, you know, pressured to eat what everybody else is eating. But we want to be that food truck that lets you still feel good while you are out having a good time. So if anybody is looking for a food truck, or looking for meal prepping, we want to help you to feel good while you're out in public and socializing. And we would love to come to events, and we have even done a few catering options. Not a whole lot because of all of this stuff. It was going good there for a while, and then COVID-19 kind of shut everything down. So not a lot of catering going on right now, but that's okay. So I'm hoping that it's something that we can get into more, because that's definitely a good thing to have healthy lunches at business meetings and things like that. So it's basically, that's it. That's us. And that probably wasn't even 10 minutes, but that's okay. So this is my family. My mom and dad help me in the food truck, you know, every day that we're open. And then Mark still has a full-time job. So he's the behind the scenes guy, does a lot of the finances and putting things together and keeping us on track. And then that's our daughter, Abigail. So thank you all, like I said, very much for having me on here. And I would love questions, comments, concerns, anything that we can help you do, please let me know.
So thank you, Allison. Maybe let's get kickstarted with I know you touched on this a little bit, but with the question that how can the ADA entrepreneurship community of, you know, mentors and people in finance and marketing, different people, how can they help you? Let's get kickstarted with that maybe.
Yeah. Anybody? Nobody wants to talk this morning.
Oh no, we have several questions in the chat. I was if we could get kickstarted with the question, how can this community help your business improve?
Oh, sharing us on Facebook and you know, just letting us set up at your business. Yeah, that would be a good one. You know, just letting us be there for you. There's certain restrictions. We have to be invited, you know, to come to certain places. And if we have to be able to fit there, that's a big thing also. You know, we are a pretty big unit, but we try to go to different places and events. If you have something going on, please let me know. I try to keep up with the Ada Main Street events, and I try to keep up with the chamber events and things like that. But anything that I can help with and be available for, then please just let us know. Reach out.
Awesome. And I'm sure we can share your social media and things like that after the presentation. So we have a question about, do you sell your frozen prep meals out of the truck, or are they like by pre-order?
Most of the time it's pre-order. If you want something that we're serving in the truck that day while we're open, then most of the time, yes, we can put it in a container that you can take home and freeze. We don't have a lot of room in the truck to pre-freeze a lot of meals at one time. So we will cook the food in the morning before we open, and then send it with people whenever they come pick it up, and then they can take it home and freeze it. And sometimes the way we've actually learned to utilize and not have so much waste is when we do have extra food at the end of the day, we go ahead and portion it out so it can be frozen. And then those are in our freezer for the next day if somebody does want to come and pick those up.
I have one more question. And what percentage of your business do you food truck versus meal prepping?
Like what is our percentage, did you say?
Yes, like are you leaning more towards the meal prepping these days, or is it mostly the food truck?
Yeah, honestly, it's about half and half. I was just looking at our numbers. Mark put them in yesterday, and really, it's about half and half right now. And so we've been actually talking about in the future maybe having a very small brick and mortar, just to try to focus our meal prepping out of that, and then just having the food truck for events and being able to go to different towns if people invite us. But we're not quite to that point yet that I feel comfortable saying that we're doing more meal prepping than food trucking. But it's coming along, definitely. It's increased since we opened, that's for sure.
Okay, I think I'm going to switch up the Q&A format a little bit so it's just not me talking. So I see, Claudia, you have a question. Do you want to shout out your question real quick?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Allison, my question had to do with kind of where you go, so your locations. Let me go look it up again. I wanted to know if you've gone anywhere near oil field towns. Being familiar with some of the areas, I know it was usually hard to come by like a healthy lunch. Usually we had like greasy food trucks come around, or greasy gas station foods if we were out on rigs working on stuff like that. Have you gone to any of those locations yet?
I have not yet. We've seen a few posts on Facebook about places that are looking, but the days we have open, they already have trucks there. So it's something that we're definitely looking to do because there are a lot of small towns that a lot of stuff is closed down. We do go to Kanawha, and I'm pretty sure a lot of those guys that come through Kanawha are some oil field guys and, you know, truckers and stuff like that. We park in a pretty big parking lot there and serve a lot of semi trucks and like OG&E people and stuff like that to give them a healthy option. But we've not gone much further than that. We're talking about possibly going to Purcell, on like the outskirts of Purcell next week. And if you have any ideas, I'd be open to check it out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll keep it open.
Okay.
So, Jessica?
So you might have sort of already answered this question to a certain extent, but is there a radius that you travel within for your truck for either events or just for sales at businesses?
There was, but now we actually have figured out how to connect our generator to our truck so we can run it while we're driving. So we've actually gone as far as the other side of Lake Eufaula, which is about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes from Ada, and set up there on a few weekends. As far as the meal prep and delivery, as long as we have a notice, we try to leave Wednesdays open for like those days that we can go and deliver. My mom does our deliveries, and so she is usually pretty busy on Mondays and Tuesdays. But Wednesdays, we've gone as far as taking meals to some of the nurses up at OU Children's, and even to Ardmore a time or two. So as long as we know and you know you're available to meet on the days that we can work it out, then we'll bring you food.
And then just a follow-up question, I guess, if nobody minds. How do people know about your sales? Is it can people go online and order? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
It's okay. So online, our website is not linked to anything yet. Basically, the easiest way to get a hold of us is my cell phone number is all over Facebook. It is on the website. You can text me or call me. But you can also, on the Facebook page and even through Instagram, send me just a message of what meals you want and how many of each one, and if you want to pick them up or what day you'd like us to deliver them. Like I said, we're pretty flexible, and so just being able to get in touch with us is either cell phone or one of the social media apps.
And I just posted Allison's Facebook link on the chat. So we have about 5 minutes more. People just shout out a question or any feedback or any comments for Allison.
All right, and one more. Would having a more digital platform to be able to place orders, would that be helpful to you? Is there a reason why you haven't implemented that yet?
Yes, it definitely would. We've been looking at a few different options. I'm not very tech savvy at all. Zoom is about as technical as I get. And so I was working with Stacy a whole lot, and then COVID happened, and honestly, we got busier when the coronavirus started, and so I just haven't dedicated the time to exploring that more and getting it out there and figuring out which option would be best for us. So if you have an idea of one, I definitely would like to explore that for sure.
I know that there's a food prep company in Oklahoma City that has done quite well, and I might send Dia some information about it to share with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Amy, did you have one question? I think we have time for a couple more.
Well, I was just wondering if Allison had an opportunity to set up in Sulphur or Ardmore yet. They're both, well, Sulphur's kind of a food truck desert, but they love to have the semi-local truck come and visit. And then Ardmore and Ada, pretty good with sharing trucks back and forth. And Ardmore has several opportunities for semi-permanent locations. Of course, they're like us right now. They're not having any events. But once those do open up again, if you ever need any contacts in either of those communities, I know folks.
Hey. Yes, we actually, one day we were scheduled. One day we were scheduled to go to Davis, and the day we were going to set up, they decided to completely shut down the road we were going to set up on. And it was storming and thunder and lightning, and a metal box is kind of scary. So we didn't go. But yes, we're trying to reach out to Sulphur and Davis, and I talked to a few people in Ardmore, but that, like I said, it's all kind of changed since all of this started. But I'm planning, since everything is kind of calming down, to start reaching out more and starting to go to more towns in the very near future.
Dia, you should share Andrea's information with Allison for Ardmore.
Absolutely. Okay, do we have any more? I have one question. Allison, I know that I'm really proud of the journey that from when you started with the big pitch, and I remember we were doing the Zoom calls and you were multitasking and going to conferences. So that bootstrap journey, doing it with your family, what advice do you have for aspiring entrepreneurs who are kind of in the same boat as you?
My advice is to be very open, and being, when I say open, I mean open to learning and open to change, because as a small business, you never know what's going to influence your day-to-day activities. And constructive criticism is a very good thing. Some days are tough. I mean, there's one day I sent my dad home, like walking home, because he was so very grumpy, and I said, no, we're not doing this today. And so, you know, even my dad, I sent him home, and he didn't have a ride because he rode with my mom and she was doing deliveries, but he came back and we got over it. And, you know, it's just very much adjusting to day-to-day life, and being available, and really learning how to utilize your products is a big thing. Not, you know, wasting what you're putting in and throwing it away is definitely helped us a lot. Managing our waste, I guess, is a big thing.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us and helping us kickstart this event, which we really hope that in the future, if there's someone else who's wanting to open a food truck, you can be a great mentor for them. So we really, really appreciate your business and what you're doing for our community. Can we have a clap for Allison, please?
That's fun.
Right. Okay, so I'm very excited to introduce our next speaker. And let me open up his introduction real quick. So Colin Edens is the founder of EcoSnap Tiles, which is an environmentally friendly company that creates snap together flooring tiles out of recycled plastic. For every square foot of tiles sold, another square foot is donated to a household in Uganda. EcoSnap tiles are affordable, easy to clean, and replace durable self-installing, and have an aesthetic look. As of last week, Cullen is an ECU alum, so congratulations, that's awesome. And Cullen is also a former winner of the Loves Cup this year. He had a phenomenal performance, so lots of congratulations going down the road. And thank you so much for joining us, and the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks, Dia. I appreciate it. Thank you for allowing me to be here. As Dia said, my name's Cullen Edens. I am a recent graduate of a couple of days now from ECU, and this proposed idea that I had, I was able to present in the Loves Cup, which for those who aren't familiar with that, it would be described as like Shark Tank, but for college students in Oklahoma. So this was a really exciting time, and Dr. Bolin and Casey Black and Vaughn, who are also on this call, were big helps in this project with me, and I'm excited to see possibly where it could go. So as Dia explained, my company was called EcoSnap Tiles, and one thing that we like to solve when we're doing a project like this is finding a solution to a problem. And the backstory on this business is I had the opportunity to travel to Uganda and Africa last summer, and I worked at an entrepreneurship program with young adults and college students in the East African region. And myself with along of students from those countries, we came up with an idea that would create plastic recycled tiles for household use. And we found this to be a really great avenue just to help promote sustainability in our world. And so for our solution to solving problems through this company is that EcoSnap Tiles is a sustainable, environmentally friendly product as we create our tiles for household, commercial, whatever use you may need out of 100% recycled plastic. And also our target market, because recycled plastic is a very affordable product, we want to produce our tiles at $1 per square foot. As well, Dia described how we want to have a social responsibility aspect to our EcoSnap tiles, and that like it's similar to Tom's, buy one, give one. So for every square foot that we sell, we would like to help provide another square foot to a household in need in Uganda to help prevent preventable foot diseases that are very prevalent. So for our business model, we kind of wanted to do where we contract our manufacturing in both the United States and Uganda, because it's very expensive to own your own manufacturing in the beginning. So contracting through just different plastic injection molding companies would be the ideal target in implementing this company. And as I mentioned before, we want to provide that social responsibility aspect because we believe that when we help other people, it'll provide benefit to everyone. And so as of right now, we're still working on a prototype, but our idea is to have many designs and styles to suit consumer tastes, and with a thickness of only 1.5 millimeters. So just imagine, as you see in your kitchen or flooring, living rooms or whatever, this art EcoSnap tiles would be snapped together, meaning they would simply be like almost like Legos. And so here's some photos of Uganda, Africa, where we really saw the need and the idea to come up with this product. We have a photo here of a woman in her household who currently lives in dirt flooring, and on the right where Ugandan food markets have extreme poor sanitation methods. So our tiles would help provide clean and durable flooring for those markets as well as the United States. And in addition, we want to really capture what the market size could potentially be. And in the United States, the flooring market is expected to increase to $470.5 billion by 2024. This is an increase of over 70 billion from 2017. And this is mainly due to just different flooring developments in housing and hotels, office and shopping plazas. As rental properties are becoming more popularized, millennials are starting to renovate and purchase homes. This market size is definitely growing in our world. And so some target markets that we're interested in looking at are rental property owners, environmentally conscious consumers, and even college students in residence hall. Because of EcoSnap tiles design that they snap together, they're easily replaceable and affordable. This would be an ideal product for rental property owners, as many times rental property owners are having to replace soiled carpets or stained floorings when they have a new tenant come in, and EcoSnap tiles snap together design simply means you can just simply unsnap that broken piece of tile or that stained tile and simply replace it with another one. And another target market would be our environmentally conscious consumers. The millennial and Gen Z generation is becoming the largest generation in our society today, and they are demanding products that are sustainable and environmentally friendly. So this would be a great avenue to help provide a product that would suit their flooring needs, as well as college students. Many times our dorm rooms are outdated or unclean, so our EcoSnap tiles, you can simply snap them together and then unsnap them at the end of the semester, and you can design your flooring as simple as you would like. We use a product creation process in order to make EcoSnap tiles. Here you can see a simple 7-step process where we simply start with collecting recycled plastic, and then it goes through the 7-step process in order to create EcoSnap tiles. And as I mentioned, our goal is to have many designs and colors so that it can meet consumer taste for all of our target markets. And I keep mentioning the word that they're snapped together. So this simply means that they're self-installed. So another benefit of having EcoSnap tiles is that you can avoid the middleman of the installation, paying expensive installation fees. So as I mentioned, they're similar to Legos in that they snap together, and it also would come with a finishing edge tool piece because all rooms aren't exactly square shapes or rectangles. Obviously, our rooms are very diverse in the way they look. This finishing edge tool piece would allow you to cut your tile in order to fit the exact dimensions of the room so that you can have flooring self-installed by yourself. We also offer a really amazing competitive advantage compared to just different flooring options of laminate, hardwood, carpet, tile, and that we are affordable, have a durable product, we're easy to clean, and also we meet some new aspects that our consumer market is expecting, and that we are mission focused. We'd like to donate a tile for every tile purchased. We use 100% recycled material. That way our world can become more sustainable, and that we are self-installing, and the fact that you don't have to pay for expensive installation fees, because for example, you may get carpet for $1 a square foot, but you're having to pay expensive installation fees, and this process would avoid that. Also, as we become more involved in our getting our name out there, we would like to travel to trade shows, conduct online websites, and even social media marketing. This is just avenues that we think would be the best way in order to provide our product into different retail stores. And as I finally mentioned, I like to look at the triangle test of our business. And most importantly, we're affordable, durable, and easy to install. Because our product is we're wanting to have it at an MSRP of $1, that it would be easy to install by the snap together like Lego shaped tiles. And as I mentioned, we're environmentally friendly. We want to use 100% recycled plastic, as well as our mission focused aspect. And I wanted to leave that just open for some questions if you have any. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. That was awesome. Again, similar to last time, let's kick off with the first question. You're in your early stages looking at launching your idea, and you're still kind of validating it. What can this community do to help you in progressing with your idea?
Absolutely. I think from this experience, I think the most important thing is just the community networking part, because we all have different skill sets and strengths in our community. I think it's the combination of the community working together to build better businesses for our community, which can help grow our city and even state.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, we are open floor, guys. When is the launch date? We have a question on the chat.
Absolutely. So because I just competed in this project just a few weeks ago, we do not have a current launch date. We're still working on the prototype and different aspects of that, but I believe that this is something that I really want to pursue in the next coming years. So this is just a good start, just meeting with new people and hearing ideas and improvements and constructive feedback, as Allison mentioned, is really critical.
Hey, Dia, is this only for us to ask questions in the chat, or we can, ask openly?
Well, I was thinking that if we get like hundreds of questions at once, that's why I was going with the chat, but no, please shut up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to ask you, Cullen, I seen the price that you had set at $1. So like, how did you start to come up with the pricing for this your Eco Snap Towel?
Definitely. So through market research, we understood that recycled plastic, especially using it from contract manufacturing, it was actually a more cheaper option. Plastic is a more cheaper material than such as wood or just different materials like that. So when you produce it in a large bulk, especially with the plastic material, it would be more affordable.
We have one question on the chat. How are you planning to do the sales and distribution in other countries outside the US?
Absolutely. So from our idea at the moment, we want to just do using the United States as the market for selling. And then, like I mentioned, Uganda would be like the Tom's aspect where you buy one, give one. And that would be the way you would do that. So the sales would be in the United States, but the distribution, we would have to find an outsourced manufacturing in the specific country, because if you were to ship a product across the world, that would be very expensive. But there's obviously manufacturing facilities all over the world, so having contracted manufacturing would be the ideal way.
And also, from what I remember from your longer presentation, is that you already have some established relationship from your School of Business travel to one of these countries.
Yes, absolutely. As I mentioned before, I've actually been to this country and this community, and I have good connections in that specific country. And also, just as I mentioned before, just having the network of community members is really important. So meeting with ADA community members is extremely critical, because like I said, it all takes a community for our businesses to succeed.
We have a question on Facebook from David. Hi, David. His question is, do you have different sizes for your towels?
Yes, so as I mentioned, we're still in the prototype stage at the moment, but we would like to have different shapes and sizes to meet all consumer tastes. Specifically right now, we're going to be starting with the square tile shape, because that's the most ideal at the moment. But as we continue to expand, we would like to produce different shapes and sizes and colors, as well as even in ideas, we've had different ideas of like kitchen backsplashes or outdoor kitchen countertops, just different ways to diversify.
We have a comment from Gerald on the chat. Gerald, would you like to expound a little bit more on, maybe from your perspective as a potential customer someday, what are some things you may be looking for in this product?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is my first Zoom meeting, so I'm getting an education, just learning how to implement this. I'm in my office, and I actually picked a computer that doesn't have a camera, and I've not figured out how to upload a photo. So next time I'll get on the right computer. But my question is, as a rental, I have investment properties. So this is intriguing to me. how expensive, I mean, I'd love to be able to look at the product and see the viability in regards to rental properties. Where would we see that?
I'm sorry, Jared, it was cutting out a little bit. Could you repeat the question?
Where could we see the product?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm currently in the prototype stage still, but we would like, once we have the prototype, we would like to show it via just different our website or just different social media platforms to inform, especially you said you are in the rental property business, and that is who we are mainly targeting because it's a very affordable product that also you can self-install yourself. So that way our rental property businesses and owners can provide more durable flooring that they feel more comfortable replacing because of the cost.
I would certainly like to know more about your product. Keep my name and phone number, please.
Great, thank you.
Colin, kind of expanding on that with having a larger market, ideally. I know that sometimes when I've done home remodeling projects, I've had a sample sent to me. Would that be a potential option so that people could see the how the material is made up, feel it, see the different colors, that sort of thing? Is that an option?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I appreciate that. I hadn't thought of that, but I think that would be a really great idea. We also were interested in also providing our product, in a flooring store or a big box store like a Home Depot, but also that would be a great avenue to get our name out there more is by willing to send samples, which would also be a great advantage because a lot of other flooring options they're not going to directly mail you a flooring sample to your house to see. You would have to actually go get it. So that would be a great opportunity. Thank you for that.
Have you thought of doing any like textured flooring that's still plastic and easy to clean? Because I know currently we're actually shopping for new flooring for the food truck. So that might be an option also to even intrigue people that own restaurants and family-owned businesses that have to clean their own floors and are looking for something that's durable and easy to clean, because what we have right now is the exact opposite of that.
Great, thank you for that insight on textured flooring. That will be a great opportunity as well for especially where the floors become more wet, obviously in a food truck. So.
Colin, what kind of, I know that when you're starting a business, mentors play a huge role. Is there a specific industry that you're looking in for mentors? Is there somewhere we can help you get connected with anyone?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I think mentorship is a really important aspect, especially for an aspiring entrepreneur. I think for me, specifically getting the prototype created, so just maybe some manufacturing facilities, or I know I've had connections with the Pontotoc Technology Fab Lab, and I'm planning on continue working with them once the coronavirus pandemic ends, but that kind of stalled things a little bit. But I believe that just connections with manufacturing and ideas of that would be appreciated.
Yes, definitely. I think 3D printed prototypes of this is a great way to go. Maybe you just talked about COVID a little bit, and I know you've had to adjust your presentation and timeline, and I can only imagine being a senior, trying to graduate, and also doing the Loves Cup. What was that experience like? I know you guys did it virtually this year.
Yeah, it was definitely really unexpected, but I think it really taught me a lot about myself and just the way we have to work, and you have to be adaptable and flexible, and especially being so young, it's really important just to, as you grow older, that life isn't necessarily fair, and you just have to be flexible and just be willing to change and just find a way just to be successful even through difficult circumstances.
That's awesome. So I think we have about 5 minutes more. Guys, any more questions, comments, feedback for Colin?
I have one. Colin, how closely have you stayed connected with your early group of your contacts in Uganda? You said you guys kind of brainstormed this together. Are they still your connection there?
Yeah, absolutely. I still speak with a few of them regularly. They also have been very hit hard by the coronavirus, not necessarily with cases, but just different they're in currently lockdown measures, but I do have good contact with them through WhatsApp and Facebook, and they're really great business leaders in those countries. So I am excited to work with them in the future. And specifically, I mentioned, I forgot to mention this in my presentation, but one thing that was one of the connections I have, he actually is an executive director for a orphanage in the whole East African region. And that's one of the great ideas of how we want to help provide different flooring, like I said, the buy one, give one, because obviously small children who are coming into orphanages in the East African region are more likely to be susceptible to illness and diseases, and having dirt floors in their orphanages or even concrete floors is very, very pervasive to their overall health. So having a clean and a durable and flooring option would provide just better opportunities as they continue to navigate through the traumatic events in their life so that they can eventually overcome the things they faced.
You're getting some great feedback about the presentation of the chat, and I absolutely agree. So maybe with that, do you have any advice for not just aspiring student entrepreneurs, just also aspiring entrepreneurs in general? I know you were in the accounting field, so some of this business pitching skills were new to you, and I know Dr. Boland is awesome with that. But in addition to that, do you have any advice for these aspiring student entrepreneurs?
Yeah, definitely. I think this was my first time to especially since I'm only 22, just to kind of get started in a lot of different avenues. But I think the most important thing is the way you respond to failure. And obviously doing this during the coronavirus pandemic, especially with not the greatest internet access, has been really hard. But I think it's just, no matter how old you are, if you're 22 like me, or you're 45 or you're 65, it's never too late to do what you want to do in life. And it's never too late to chase your dreams. And I think that's been really fun for me, especially getting started at this age. So I'm just really excited to continue to meet new people and just continue to go on.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for helping us kickstart this session. Can we have a virtual clap for Poland, please?
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all the nice comments. So thanks.
Okay, so I know we have 10 minutes left, but that is the close of the official agenda. We are really trying hard to recreate the networking aspect that we get in live events where, you know, we stay after the event, grab a cup of coffee and maybe talk to people. So what we're trying to do is leave the Zoom room open. If there's anybody you want to connect with, you can just let me know. I can get you guys in a breakout room. But as of today, we are officially adjourned. We will be back again next month, the second Wednesday of the month at 9 a.m. with some more exciting speakers. But thank you all so much for joining, and this room is open if you guys want to stay around. Thank you. Trying to figure out how I go. Okay, there you go. Trying to figure out how I go. No? I think that's pretty much everyone.
Yeah, I think it might be a wrap unless anyone else wants to keep
Yeah,
meeting.
and I can stick around if you need to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll catch up at 11:30.
Yes.